Lindsay's just told me to shut up. She's always telling me to shut up. Right then, people. Battle of the CBRs. Well, before we get started, let me just show you Lindsay's bike. There we go. CBR600RR 2011 Layla limited edition. But anyway, don't want to talk about that. This is what we're here to talk about. The CBR600F. Took this in part exchange for my Diavel when I sold it. And it's a 2011 model. 101 brake horsepower, 194 kilos. It does feel heavier to push than that. So it's more of a road going version. But also, I thought initially it had something like the RR engine that was detuned, etc. But it's actually, and this has surprised me, it's a Hornet. It's a Hornet frame, it's a Hornet engine. So what Honda have very cleverly done is place this in between the Honda Hornet and the Honda CBR600RR. It's a brilliant ploy, because what they've done now is they've basically put a sheep in wolf's clothing. So this particular model is, say, 2011. It's got the RNG crash bungs or bobbins or pucks or whatever you want to call them on them. It came from the dealer with the Akrapovic or Akropovich end can, which is carbon fibre and a titanium. Underneath it's got the nice tail tidy. That's lovely. Makes everything nice and neat. It's got the hugger fitted to it as well. It's got the single seat converter, and even though that looks like black on the actual seat converter, it's not. That's the seat. So this will just slide off to reveal a one-piece dual seat, whereas on the RR it's got the two-piece. So the dash on this as well, if you look at the RR, we can do another comparison as well. The dash on the RR is an analog rev counter and a digital speedo. Yeah, if you look at the dash on this, it's completely different. It's a very clever dash, but the only complaint I've got personally is that this rev counter, which is digital along the top, is actually quite hard to read and see. So you have to use your ears a little bit more. But it's a nice little dash, but as I say, if it was up to me, I'd probably make that a little bit easier to see. This model is also the ABS. So it's got the ABS fitted. And I know a lot of people don't like the ABS because they think that when you've got the ABS you're going to ride up to its limits, but only an idiot would do that. The ABS, in my opinion, is there for when all else fails, you've messed up, and then it may save you. May save you. Have a look at my Diavel upload about braking to understand a little bit more about ABS. So, seat height on this is not too bad. It's something like 880, which is not ridiculous. And you can get lowering kits for these anyway. For those of you that's vertically challenged, you can get little kits which will lower it down a little bit usually. But yes, bottom line is this is a CBR600F, but it is actually a Hornet with clip-ons and a fairing. So let's go and take it for a ride. Right then, let's turn this baby on. Yeah. Right then, let's turn this on. It's got the nice conventional switchgear layout, and looks like it's got the little holes for the mirrors for things like the just look like my van then. It's got the holes for the mirrors just like on the Hornets, but these mirrors that are fitted onto the fairing tend to, you can see your elbows a little bit, so you have to just set them up a little bit further forwards. And there we go. So let's turn it on. It goes through its little neat-neeks, as I call it. Crack it up. The ABS light stays on until you've ridden away. Then it does its little check, so it can tell that your wheels are rolling. I went to turn my lights on then instinctively, and you can see they're not lights, they're hazards. Okay. It's a nice, easy, smooth clutch. ABS light's gone off. There's Linz. Wave hello, Linz. Okay, let's go for a play. Oh, just got to get used to the biting point of the clutch. Sometimes like that, isn't it? When you ride a new bike, you just need to get used to where the clutch bites. Yeah, that mirror's a bit better now. You can still, about nearly half of the mirror's wasted really, because my elbows are in the way. It's very neutral on the handling, and the engine's very smooth. The gearbox is as sweet as a nut again. It's a very easy bike to ride. Nice steady throttle around the roundabout. It wants to tuck in when you want to, so there's no nasty surprises there. The only nasty surprises you get are these cars that are undercutting you and creeping out on you. Gets up to speed very quickly, and you have to change gear a little bit earlier on these because they're so buzzy and revvy on the engines. I mean, I'm now in 6th gear doing 40 miles an hour, and it still feels quite buzzy because I'm used to my low revving V4. It's also much more comfortable than the RR. So flicking it down to the roundabout, down a gear, that's 4th, that's 3rd. Keep it in 3rd for now. Hold the throttle nice and steady, let your body weight come over, and then start laying the power down, and it's lovely. It's just so neutral to ride. I'm back into 6th at 40. Okay, so I'm going to turn right here where there's a national speed limit coming up. So I'm going to keep it in 2nd gear. I'm holding it now 22 miles an hour. So if you open it up and get the revs up, here we go, stay in 2nd gear, 30, 40, 50, 60. Straight away in 2nd gear. So if you want to use it and you take the revs up, it pulls really nicely, but not as harshly as a 600RR could comparatively. And also because it's a Honda, you're going to get your resale value on these. It'll hold its value very well. They're a very, very popular bike. Reliability is superb, and I think they're a really good looking bike. That is very smooth. The gearbox on it is as slick as anything. And when you're doing 60, it just takes that little bit of weight off your hands as well. The wind just brings your body up a little bit. Okay, coming down to a right-hander, easing my throttle off, the vanishing point's coming into me. Remember, have a look at my upload on limit points. And then nice little push on the right bar, looking around the corner and through the hedges. Staying on the inside here, in case there's anything coming. There's no point staying out at the speed I'm doing. As long as I can stop in the distance I can see to be clear, I'm okay. Nice steady throttle again, looking around the corner. And a little push and drive away. It's lovely to go around corners with, it really is. I mean, I'm doing the 60 miles an hour speed limit here. And let's just test these brakes out. They are ABS, so I'm going to put them on quite strongly. Ready? 60 miles an hour and... ooh, straight down. Really hard. Wow, the ABS didn't even kick in and I felt I was going over the bars. But also, did you see that car on the wrong side of the road doing the overtake? So let's call that an emergency stop. Look around the corner, still in the national, wind it open. I'm in 2nd gear now, so if we keep the revs a little bit higher, nice and steady, and open it up again, 30, 40, 50, 60, 2nd gear. And the fuel injection mapping on this, I'm in 2nd gear, let's open it up from no revs at all, 21 miles an hour, steady throttle. And that's just like my RR. Absolutely spot on fuel injection mapping. There's not a hiccup on that at all. This CBR is a lovely bike, you know. I can see why people like them. It's beautiful.